Why does John tell us there were 6 stone jars at the wedding? Because when scripture gives us a detail, we should at least stop long enough to ask, why is that detail here? We're continuing our deep dive into the Gospel of John, and we just saw the first sign, where Jesus turned water into wine. But today I want to slow down and look at John chapter 2, verse 6. John says there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. These weren't wine containers. They were connected to Jewish purification practices, and the fact that they're made of stone matters historically. Stone vessels were useful in Jewish ritual life because, unlike pottery, they were understood not to contract ritual impurity in the same way. So picture the scene. Sitting there are 6 enormous stone jars associated with ceremonial purification. And what does Jesus tell the servants to do? Fill them with water. And John adds that they filled them up to the brim. Jesus transforms that water into wine. Now, John absolutely wants us to notice these are purification jars. And throughout the gospel, we're going to see Jesus repeatedly take Jewish institutions, feasts, symbols, and expectations and reveal that they ultimately point beyond themselves and point to Jesus. Something greater's arrived. Remember what John told us in chapter 1. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. And now the water associated with purification becomes something completely new in the hands of Jesus. But there's another detail. The jars held 20 or 30 gallons each, and there's 6 jars. That means Jesus potentially produced somewhere between 120 to 180 gallons of wine. That wasn't barely enough. This was an abundance. And remember what the master of the feast says. You've kept the good wine until now. Jesus doesn't merely provide. What he provides is abundance, and it's good. But there's one more statement at Cana that we need to look at before we leave. Jesus told his mother, "My hour is not yet come." What hour? That's where we're going next. This is a study of the book of John.